For a woman with a concussion in a rear-end collision, and $2 million for a man seriously injured by a logging truck. Win with Flynn. Serious injury, significant results. Visit winwithflynn.com or call 77-WIN-FLYNN.
Summer is here, so it's pool time. Come by Brown's Pools and Spas for all your pool and patio needs. We have a large selection of pool floats, games, garden accessories, big green egg grills, and grilling supplies. And of course, all your pool and spa chemical needs. Talk to one of our staff members today about getting you into a pool of your own. Brown's Pools is proud to be the exclusive dealer for Bullfrog Spas, the only spa that can fit everybody in your family. Learn more at brownspools.com. Brown's Pools and Spas, your backyard fun place for over 40 years.
National headlines and the local stories you care about. WLBB, Carrollton, News Talk, 1330, FM 106.3.
Good morning. Welcome to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Greidick, your host. Delighted to have you with us. It's a beautiful new week and a very special week as we get prepared for Independence Day. And with that in mind, we're honored to have in studio Terry Lowry, musical director and conductor of the Carroll Symphony Orchestra. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Steve.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. We want to talk about the Sounds of Liberty, and because this is a special year, it's 200th anniversary of the founding of Carroll County, and that's going to be incorporated into the performance Saturday night.
Yes.
But before we do, I think it's always important, and particularly as Carroll Symphony Orchestra has grown, 25-year anniversary, it has really matured since its beginning, a quarter of a century ago, and has all kinds of outreaches, and I think it'd be important for our audience to just take a moment to educate us and refresh our memory on all the different things that you're involved in with the symphony.
Sure. Well, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, the Carroll Symphony was founded back in 2001. Our first concert was in 2002, and since then we've presented nearly 700 performances. There's the Carroll Symphony Orchestra, of course, our flagship ensemble, the professional symphony that you'll hear on the 4th of July at the Sounds of Liberty at 8:30 in front of Carrollton Elementary School. We also have affiliate ensembles that we sponsor because our mission is to enrich the lives of the people of West Georgia with great music, and that obviously includes children. So we have a youth symphony, but also adults. So we sponsor the Carrollton Wind Ensemble. But there's more to great music than just the symphonic repertoire. We also have the Carrollton Jazz Orchestra, which is, I think, one of the best big bands in the Southeast. We have a chamber music ensemble called Atlanta by Six. And all of these groups together put on about 60 concerts a year in West Georgia, and then other concerts around the state. So it's a really exciting time. We have education outreach programs. We have outreach programs in 52 schools. We have teacher resource programs available to all of the school music teachers. I go into high school band rooms and work with bands and choruses, and on behalf of the symphony do programs about upcoming concerts that we have, or listen to them perform and offer comments and encouragement. So it's a wonderful partnership between us and the people of West Georgia. It's been a real great success. There's about 300 musicians that come through the Carrollton Center for the Arts every week to participate in our activities. And these are people who are making music, let alone the audiences who come.
And then, of course, you have the Young Composers Competition.
That's right. That's one of our education outreach programs. We have a statewide Young Composer Competition where I write a short little musical theme that we send out to every music teacher in the state of Georgia. And they have their students write compositions based on that theme. The winners get orchestration lessons and have their pieces premiered by a professional symphony. And so far, we've premiered over 250 compositions by Georgia school children age 5 through 18.
So why is the educational outreach is part of the core?
It's absolutely part of the core. Yeah, when I was asked to form the Carroll Symphony 25 years ago, I had two conditions. One, that the symphony be a professional symphony, that the music that we presented be at the very highest level. I knew that a lot of our audience would be hearing symphonic music for the very first time, and I wanted them to hear a really great product. And the second is that I wanted the opportunity to write the mission statement, which meant that I had to do a lot of homework. You know, we founded in 2001, didn't do a concert until 2002, because in that interim, I was trying to learn what makes Carrollton, what makes Carroll County, Haralson County, what makes our area unique? What is it about this place? And my takeaway from countless lunches and visits to civic clubs and churches and just talking to as many people as possible is that, you know, Washington is a one industry town and LA is a one industry town. It could be said that Carroll County is a one industry area, and that industry is raising children, raising families. You have a lot of 3-generation families where you have parents who are taking kids to things all over the place, and grandparents who show up to watch, and you see that a lot. You know, I've lived here for this long. I've raised 5 children here. You don't come to Carrollton to be rich and famous, right? You come to Carrollton to raise a family because it's a great place in which to raise a family. That's our industry. So we knew that if we were going to have relevance in our community, and that was important to me, I didn't want to just pretend like we were the New York Philharmonic plopped down in West Georgia. I wanted to build an organization that had relevance in the community. And to do that, we had to provide opportunities for children to make music and to hear music, and to help anyone in our area who wanted to be a part of that. So school music teachers, band directors, chorus teachers, piano teachers, church music directors, all these people who are involved in helping bring music into the lives of children, we wanted to help them. So we had our own programs going, and then we wanted to also have outreach programs that could help them be even more effective in doing what they were already so good at.
So what's the secret? What's the secret sauce in a world now post-COVID and cell phones and the internet? Why is it important for young kids to be introduced to music or even to be taught an instrument?
Well, music is an abstract art form, right? I mean, you hear music, and I could hear a piece of instrumental music and I could think it's a love song. You might hear the exact same piece of music and think it's about going fishing with your father. You know, we could have totally different takes on what that piece of music was about. And that's the wonderful thing about it, is that you have a composer who creates it, you have a performer who presents it, but it's not over until the listener hears it and makes some sense of it, decides what it's about, and it can be about whatever we want it to be about. That's the beautiful thing. Music, and I've said this a million times and I'll say it a million more times, music helps us make sense of the world when our words fail us. Look, if I can tell you how I feel, then I can understand how I feel, right? If I'm angry about something, I could say, you know, Steve, I'm really angry about this, and this is why, and I'm using my vocabulary to articulate why I'm angry. Or if I'm happy or pleased about something, I'm proud of my children, and I want to tell you why this is happening, and I'm proud of this, and this made my wife and I feel this way because this happened. I've got the words to do that. But what happens when your emotions are so strong and so complicated that you don't have the words for it? If you're so sad that you don't have the words for it, what do? You cry. I don't care if you're 3 years old or 63 years old. Well, what happens when your emotion is so happy that you don't know what to do? You laugh. If you can't talk, you just laugh. What if you're so scared or so angry that you can't articulate it? You know, I may grab a pen, just throw it on the floor. If I'm a kid, I might throw a toy. Some people do worse. So if we can provide music, if we can teach people that when you listen to music, it can help you make sense of the world around you when your words fail, when you don't have the words, then we've done something powerful for that person.
Does that dovetail off cognitive development?
You're above my pay grade, but it has to. There are synapses, there are circuits that I can't explain in your mind, that some that you're born with that are connected, some that you're born with that aren't yet connected. Music helps to connect some of those. A lot of scientists feel like music existed before language as kind of a proto-language, that early humans communicated through song, that there would be a tune that a mother would sing to tell her child that it's time for bed, that there would be a tune that a young boy would sing when trying to win the girl. Even before verbal language had been invented, there was a musical language, which would explain why music exists in every culture on the planet and why music means so much to all of us. But we can do this for 3 and 4-year-old children who have a very limited vocabulary because they're young. We can do this for teenagers who may have a broader vocabulary but haven't yet learned to talk about their feelings, their emotions. We can do this for adults who refuse to talk about their feelings and their emotions. So it's an important thing. It's why music matters. It's why art matters. It helps us make sense of the world when our words fail us.
I've never had anybody say I hate music. I've never heard anybody say that.
No. Mm-mm.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
With all the music stations that we've programmed.
Well, and that's again part of what music is everywhere now, right? Leonard Bernstein used to lament the fact that you can't go to a grocery store without hearing music playing. That his fear was that we would all become desensitized to it because it's just playing all the time, and you just kind of turn it off after a while. But what we're talking about with the Carroll Symphony and all the other concerts that we put on, it's primarily instrumental music. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm the director of the Carroll County Community Chorus, sure, and there's words, for that, if we're going to. But if the Carroll Symphony is playing a symphony, like I said a while ago, the listener gets to decide if that's a love song or a song about fishing. If the chorus is singing a song about fishing, then it's a song about fishing, right?
Fishing in the dark.
Okay, so most people, when you ask them about music, they're going to talk about music with words. They're going to talk about a pop song, a country song, a sacred song, something with text. Because if you don't, for most people, that's how they enter music, through the text. And they don't give a whole lot of thought to the music that's playing behind the text. They may know, well, that's kind of happy sounding or sad sounding, or it suits the text, whatever that means. But what we're trying to do is say, you know what? We want you to try to listen to some music without words for a minute, which may not be something you do in your everyday life. Yeah, everybody likes to have music that accompanies a movie. Everybody likes to have music that accompanies dinner, music that accompanies your drive, music that accompanies a poem, music that accompanies something happening in church, whatnot. But we're talking about music that's first and foremost. Like, it's not background for something else. Where music's the main thing, where you're sitting there and you're just listening. It's you and the music you're hearing and how that music makes you feel and what it makes you think about. And for most people, that's not an everyday experience, in my opinion, unfortunately, because I think it's such an important, it is such an important part of my own life. I can't imagine a day, probably I don't know that I can imagine an hour.
How can that change your life if you learn how to listen to instrumental music?
I can only talk about my own life, and obviously music's part of my identity, it's part of who I am because I've been doing it my whole life. My father being a musician, my grandparents being musicians, it's who I am. So I try to imagine what that might be like for somebody else. I can maybe best answer that by bringing up some testimonials, from people who have been to our concerts who have said, I've never just sat and listened to music, to a night of music, just music, without anybody telling me what it's about, or I got to decide what it's about. And they don't, I guess here's the best testimony. They don't have the words for it. Mm-hmm. Because if they had the words for it, they wouldn't have needed the music in the first place. Mm-hmm. We have feelings that are so strong, joy that's so great and sadness that's so low, that we don't have the words for it. You can't describe it. You know, people ask me, I'll write a piece of music and they'll say, hey, well, tell me what that was about. And I'm thinking, man, if I could tell you what it was about, I would have just written an essay. If I could have done this with English, I would have, I promise. But it's about what you just heard. I don't have the words for it, which is why it exists. So it's a dodgy thing to talk about. It's always slipping out of my fingers. But having a way, hearing a piece of music and saying, yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. You know, it's a powerful, powerful thing.
Our guest this morning is Terry Lowry, musical director and conductor of the Carroll Symphony Orchestra, and we'll be back with more after this.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy specializes in a customized designed academic approach tailored to meet the needs of our families. Our lower division prepares students with the necessary foundation to build excellence. Our middle division provides students with over 15 course offerings, providing them with opportunities to explore their talents and gifts. Our upper division provides personalized academic journeys, allowing them to achieve their dreams. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us, where every path leads to purpose.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. We're very pleased to have in studio Terry Lowry, musical director, conductor of the Carroll Symphony Orchestra. And this Saturday night, beginning at approximately 8:15, will be the Sounds of Liberty.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be special this year. It's always special, but it's super special this year.
Yeah.
So tell us about what's in store to this free concert.
Like any birthday with a zero behind it, it's a big deal.
Okay, I'll go ponder that for a while.
Yeah, like any birthday with a zero on the end of it. Yeah, so this one has two-part significance. Obviously, it's the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. It's a huge celebration all over the country, and we're going to do that. Now, we do our best to make it a huge celebration every year. This year we'll have a special feeling, of course, with the 250th. We always do a concert of American composers, only American composers.
All right.
No 1812 overture by a Russian about a French.
The elephant in the room.
No.
Why is that?
Because it's our birthday. Not going to play Tchaikovsky using the French national anthem about a battle that Napoleon lost.
Well, what that means is that there's some pieces that are very familiar to July 4th celebrations that you won't hear at the
That's the only one. That's the only one.
I was just thinking,
and it's only because Boston Pops did it, because they like firing off those cannons in the harbor.
Well, I mean, we could do a few cannons.
Yeah,
Can we do a few cannons?
But to something else. We're not.
So that's
Russian,
the only one that's really
music.
where that's not included.
No, we don't need it. We've got the Battle Hymn. We've got Stars and Stripes Forever. We've got Washington Post March. We've got America the Beautiful. We've got all the big hits. And American composers. All American composers. Just as good as anybody else. Oh, absolutely. We're going to play John Adams' Short Ride on a Fast Machine, which is as close to a rock song as you're ever going to find. Give us some American composers, their names, because we're not as educated on that as we are. Let's start with John Williams. Okay. Let's start with John Williams. Star Wars, E.T., Superman, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Harry Potter, Home Alone, Jaws, The Cowboys, Schindler's List. The list goes on and on. Hundreds and hundreds of movie soundtracks. He's easily the greatest and most prolific composer America has produced. We're going to play two of his pieces this Saturday. We'll do his Cowboys, which was one of only 5 movies in which John Wayne died. 5 John Wayne movies in which he died. It's a great movie, and I think maybe the quintessential American sound. It kind of defined what American music sounded like, with its big open spaces. It's just an absolute gorgeous tune, the Cowboys Overture from that movie. We'll play John Philip Sousa, of course. We'll do many of his marches all through the fireworks. We'll do those marches. We'll do the Carmen Dragon arrangement of America the Beautiful. Talk about other American composers. Obviously, there's Aaron Copland, there's Leonard Bernstein. I mentioned John Adams a minute ago, John Corigliano, Walter Piston. I mean, there's millions and millions, Kent Kennan, American composers that we play on a regular basis. Since we have this concert every year, we've done a lot to present a whole lot of American music, American composers. And because of that, I get emails every week from composers all over the country who recognize the fact that the Carroll Symphony has played more world premieres than any orchestra in the country over the past 25 years, bar none, period. Not the New York Philharmonic.
What does that mean?
It means that we commission more new music. I didn't want to be a cover band, right? I didn't want to just play Beethoven and just play Mozart and just play Tchaikovsky and those big names. Now, yeah, we play them. Yeah, no, I mean, we do play those composers. But I wanted the Carroll Symphony to play music that you couldn't hear if you went to the Atlanta Symphony. You couldn't hear if you went to the Chicago Symphony. You think about, the big hits. You think about the Dvorak New World Symphony, which we played in February. One of the most famous pieces of music. All of your listeners have heard it before, whether or not they recognize the name of the composer or the name of the piece. They've heard it. They've heard it in movies. They've heard it in commercials.
You probably want to insert real quickly there. You have a spring concert.
Oh, yeah. We have concerts all throughout the year.
Okay.
But, the premiere for that concert happened in New York City. It's a big deal. And, then that piece goes on to be something that, like I said, all of your listeners know. Well, I want the Carroll Symphony to do that. I want us to premiere new music that everyone in the world ends up knowing, and it all started right here. This was a hotbed for that. And that leads me, smooth segue, into another anniversary that we're celebrating. I'll get to that in a second. But composers all over the country recognize that we play more new music than any other orchestra in the country. I mean, not the Chicago, not San Francisco, not LA, not New York. It's here, not Atlanta.
But
here.
What would you say to the listener, though, that, you mentioned, cover bands. You go to cover bands to hear the hits, but when you play new music, you're introducing it to your audience, and therefore it's somewhat unfamiliar to them.
Yeah, but you say unfamiliar like that's a bad thing. You go to movies that you've never seen before. You watch television shows that you've never seen before. You read books that you've never read before. Imagine being going to hear the Beatles the first time they did Let It Be, and telling your grandchildren, I was there. I heard it the first time they ever played it. It's that kind of thing. Music rewards familiarity. There's no question. We develop relationships with music. We develop relationships with artists, performers, and composers. There's no doubt about that. And we do repeat performances, and we do develop relationships with composers that we bring back and that our audiences ask for, and music that they've recognized. But at the same time, we want to be part of what keeps music moving forward. And I mean, just imagine if pop music stopped in 1959 and nobody ever wrote any more pop music after 1959. Well, you wouldn't know any of the Beatles. Right?
They get really old.
What if it just stopped?
Yeah.
Right? And it's the same thing. What if classical music stopped in 1800? We wouldn't have the Beethoven symphonies. We wouldn't have. What if no new movie music after 1965? You wouldn't have Star Wars.
I don't think people
Superman
think of that.
All that.
I think
somebody's got to keep writing this stuff. I mean, if
but for the person that doesn't pay attention, they think it's all 100% Beethoven, Bach, and Chopin. I mean, what do you say to them?
Well, all evidence to the contrary. I mean, we do play the music that they love. We do play the music that they've formed relationships with and their favorite music. We always, if I'm going to play something that I know is new, no one's ever heard before, I'm going to pair it with a piece that I know that they love, that they've heard and they've got a relationship with. And that's why our audiences keep growing and our audiences keep coming back. Now, having said that, and that composers all over the country, musicians we are known for this. This isn't just something that I'm sitting here preaching in the studio here at the station. We're known all over the country as kind of the hotbed for new music written for orchestras. We've premiered over 350 new pieces in the past 25 years. Well, Michelle Morgan had a fantastic idea. She was in a meeting with Tim Chapman And there were others at the meeting. I don't know who else was there. But I know that the two of them came up with this idea that they were talking about ways to honor the 200th anniversary of Carroll County, 200th birthday of Carroll County. And they came up with the idea of having a concert series or presenting music written by people from this area. Well, so they called me, because we've got the Carroll Symphony, the Carrollton Wind Ensemble, Carrollton Jazz Orchestra, the Community Chorus, the Youth Orchestra, all these different ensembles that had concerts already scheduled. And, hey, Terry, what do you think? Do we have enough music? Are there enough composers, enough people writing music from this area? And I think they were hoping that we'd have 3 or 4, which would have been fantastic for most town. I mean, look, we're not a huge metropolis here, right? 3 or 4 composers here? Wouldn't that be great? Huh. In the past 6 months, we have performed 24 compositions by 18 composers from West Georgia. These are real, live, legit composers, people out doing it. And that is amazing. And I'm not taking credit for that, but I'll say the Carroll Symphony deserves a lot of credit for that, because we've been sponsoring an ecosystem that supports new music alongside our favorite John Williams tune, our favorite Beethoven tune. Alongside those classics, we've been presenting new music and increasing the repertoire and building that reputation for our area. And when you plant that kind of soil, what grows from it? 18 composers, 24 new pieces.
And that was the kind of theme of my first question, is to reflect on the 25 years of Carroll Symphony Orchestra, as you say, develop this ecosystem as a result. We're starting to have our first little harvest. Exactly. So before we go to our last break, tell us where and when will the Sounds of Liberty be held?
The Sounds of Liberty is at 8:15 on the front lawn of Carrollton Elementary School this Saturday night on the 4th of July. And we will accompany the brilliant fireworks display sponsored by the city of Carrollton that'll start right around 9:30.
We'll take our last break. We'll be back with more to wrap up after these words.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy is a vibrant community built on innovation, academic excellence, and a 64-year legacy of shaping community leaders. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, inviting you to visit the mountain and experience firsthand the passion, purpose, and personalized education that defines our school. Come see how our mission and vision come to life each day. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
Okay, welcome back. We got to mention also, before the Sounds of Liberty, Saturday night, 8:15 on the grounds of the Carrollton Elementary School. We got stage and we got the whole shebang. There's still a couple of concerts prior to that, correct?
That's right. With almost an Independence Day music festival here in Carrollton. It's fantastic. On Thursday, July the 2nd, at the Carrollton AMP, the Carrollton Wind Ensemble, joined by the Carroll County Community Chorus, will present a program called American Marches and More. We're going to premiere 2 new pieces at that concert by Carroll County composers, Mark Zigafus and Sean Morris. We're going to present those 2 new pieces. It's going to be a great concert. The chorus has been working all summer. The wind ensemble's been working all summer. It's going to be really great. Bring your lawn chairs. Bring them early. Get a good spot. And then on Friday night, man, the Carrollton Jazz Orchestra is going to be one of our best shows ever. It's an incredible set list of American jazz. The band sounds great. We had a big rehearsal yesterday. It's going to be a fantastic show. It's at 8 o'clock, both Thursday night and Friday night at the AMP. They're both 8 o'clock. Bring your lawn chairs. It's going to be both fantastic shows. And then on Saturday, we'll present a program at 9:30 with Mark Barnes and on the steps of the Carrollton Methodist Church. the wind ensemble, the chorus, and other people from the community. Then the parade will take place. And by the way, the National Guard is going to be in the parade. They're going to take their Humvee and armored vehicle over to the park that afternoon, and then over to the Sounds of Liberty that night. And at 8:15, the Sounds of Liberty with the Carroll Symphony. Come early, bring your picnic blankets. This free concert for the whole family that'll culminate with the brilliant fireworks display presented by the city of Carrollton.
And we'll see you at the Sounds of Liberty this coming Saturday at 8:15. Go out and make it a great day. God bless our troops. You're in tune to WLBB Carrollton.